got a busted play here, and then Sanchez gets hit. The ball is loose.
And look at the fumble right here, and it's picked up on the bounce, and there he goes.
Welcome to the Fumbling the Bag podcast, Week 1 NFL Picks Against the Spread and Other Bets show. It's me, Rich, at Lil Dick Big Rich on Twitter. You'll see it below. And with me to kick off the official betting season for both of us. I mean, we were both betting college. It's Andre Miller. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good.
I'm
so excited about this, man, the season, this NFL. It's week 1. It's a lot of great matchups, man. A lot of divisional games.
I was so ingrained in football today, man. I wasn't even thinking we had to record. I thought today was Monday, so that's the way it goes. But, you know, we'll get into this pretty quickly since we got a lot to cover. I'm going to tell the viewers how we're going to do this. We are going to, we're going to try and cap every game of the week. You know, there's 16 games a week until buys come into it. We're going to try and give everyone a pick against the spread for all 272 games plus the postseason. And if it goes over, you know, we might put a little special extra on the Patreon. Please subscribe, donate at patreon.com/fumblingthebagpod. Please, means the world to us. We need funding so we can get better equipment. If you like what you see, smash the like button if you're on YouTube, you know? The normal shit.
Yes.
I'm not gonna sit here and preach how you need to listen to me anymore, but we'll get into it. We gotta talk about the rules. Yeah, you know the rules. We have to talk about, you know, probably the most heartbreaking game for me right away. And it kind of hurts because it's, you know, the Bills and Rams, the primetime game that kicks off the season. And, you know, there's just history. Super Bowl champs, 13-3 at home, you know, in home openers, 13-4 in general. The Ravens lost the 1 year. They were on the road, though, so I just, you know, it hurts my soul, too. Like, I want to bet the Bills. It's my favorite team. They're who I want to go to the Super Bowl. They're who I want to win it all.
Right.
But damn, I'm afraid to bet him week 1. I'm a pussy. I hate it.
Don't be scared.
No, I don't know. When it stinks like shit and you see a home dog defending Super Bowl champ, I don't think we've seen that ever.
I don't believe so. I'm sure it's happened. But this is kind of unique in a sense. For me, I pondered this game over and over and over again because of the matchup. Such a great matchup, such great teams, great quarterbacks.
That's the thing. It's such an like last year's like Cowboys Tampa game. I'm not invested in. I'm not a fan of it. This is like my Super Bowl. This is what I thought it was gonna be like if the Bills didn't lose to the Chiefs. Like
yes.
This was it. Like, and then the Bills were supposed to win that game, and I was supposed to, you know.
Yeah.
Be a happy camper, but we're back again. But I'm right there. I'm just like, you got top 10 offense, top 10 defense. Unfortunately, I just think the refs are gonna, you know, not, you know, ref a good one. The Bills aren't gonna catch some breaks. And, you know, my dream reality would be like Bills win by 1.
Okay.
Or 2, because the line is, I've seen 1.5 to 2.5. But yeah. I'm betting Rams. I'm sorry, Bills Nation. I'll be betting them probably the next 6 weeks in a row, whether it's Tennessee, Miami. I think they play the Ravens, Steelers, and Chiefs right after that. I think that's how the schedule goes. Then they play Green Bay. Like, I'll probably bet them every week. But week 1, I'm on the Rams. What about you?
Well, like I said, it was tough for me because I know how good the Bills are, and I know they're trying to prove something this year, especially, you know, right off the top in game 1. And they probably felt like they should have been playing the Rams in the Super Bowl anyway, so I think they're going to play a little bit harder. However, I'm going with the Rams too. I'm probably just going to go straight up Rams since the spread is
get
so,
the juice.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, it's probably going to be like at negative 130, maybe 125, something like that. But because I'd hate to lose by that half a point,
right?
You know? But the reasons for me is because, okay, the Rams are coming off a Super Bowl. They're at home. Most Super Bowl teams do not lose coming off I mean, off of winning a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
So, it's
history. It
history
literally is history, and that's what it just hurts my soul. Like I said, I'll be so happy come Friday if the Rams lose by a point. Like, you have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'll be so happy.
See, that's your team too.
And
I mean, I like both teams. I
like both teams.
They're not my teams, but I do like both teams. I'm gonna tell you something else too that I got from this statistic. The Rams don't when they don't allow more than 100 yards rushing, they win. Like the last 13 games when they didn't allow more than 100 yards rushing, they were 11-2. And I know this was last year, but they basically have the same defense.
And that's the thing. The trenches will depend on how this game goes. You got to think, though, the Bills, I believe, were like third in rushing offense, or they were somewhere in that top 5 because Josh Allen ran so much. If you want a good prop, I seen Josh Allen on a certain sports book at 36.5 yards rushing. I'm like thinking I might hit that. Ooh. He averages about 45 a game. It'll probably get boosted way up to like 40 come Thursday.
Okay. So
if you grab that quick, you might have a chance. I like that, and I might bet like a first touchdown score or something. I like Dawson Knox 12-1. His brother just died, so he's got to get that swag. He's got that dead brother swag.
He's dedicated to his bro.
Yeah, I hope he kills it this year.
I think he will.
All the best. But any other bets on that or?
That's probably it for me. I just wanted to also mention that because the Bills usually they can rush their ass off. I think the Rams are going to be targeting them not running.
Yeah.
So I mean that's another little tidbit as to why the reason that they may win. But I got the Rams, man.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I know. That's where I'm at. It just we're in the business of making money here, or at least trying to guide people to the right way. And I'm going to be honest, give my real picks, and you'll see them. Saturday night I will post everyone, all my leans, all that good shit. We'll get you online posting to all your bets.
Okay.
What's the next game you want to talk about? How do you feel about the Ravens and the Jets?
Ravens, Jets. You know what? I'm gonna go in left field, and I'm gonna take the Jets.
You really like the Jets?
I'm gonna take the Jets because it's a 7-point spread.
Joe Flacco's starting. Yeah,
I know.
It should be 14.
But you know
They're
what?
They're giving him grace.
The Jets can sneak up on teams because you're not expecting the Jets to do anything.
Andre, I watched the Jets 3 preseason games. I bet them to win those games.
Didn't they win a couple of them?
They won all 3
They
of
won
them.
all 3, okay.
And no, the first quarter in that Eagles game, Zach Wilson threw a pick right away. Eagles scored again. It was 14-0 in like 5. If that's who's going out there to start, and those games are usually decided on 3rd and 4th stringers.
Yeah.
Not these first stringers. It's a bad team playing a team who kicks the shit out of teams.
It's a terrible team. It's a terrible team. And the Ravens, they, historically, they've been kicking the shit out of the Jets.
They kick the shit out of bad teams. Like,
when
it's a bad team, they play well. You got the 3rd best, rushing offense from last year playing the 4th worst rushing defense.
Yeah.
Along with, the Jets allowed the most points per game last year. I believe it was like 29.6 or something around that line. They give up 30 sacks.
I'm looking for a miracle guy.
You're considering betting it too?
I'm not going to bet it, but I'm kind of going on a whim.
Okay.
7 points is still a lot for 2 NFL teams.
Yeah, it is.
Especially that game is in New York, right?
Yeah, it's in
so
MetLife.
I'm going to take a whim on that. I know Lamar Jackson and they're going to be ready. The defense is better. Like you said, the Jets defense is really terrible.
Contract negotiation time, all that stuff.
So he's going to go hard. But,
I
could see them winning by 6.5. Maybe somebody scores a touchdown at the end for the Jets.
You hope it's not like 24-13. They score a touchdown in garbage time. Happens all the time.
Exactly. So that's the back door right there.
Give me a game you really want to bet, though. I know you got a few, because I got a few. I know a few I'm going to go bet at the window. Like, I got a lock, and then I'm betting primetime games. You know me.
Yes, I get you. I'm going, let's go with the Saints-Falcons game.
Another one?
It's in the ATL.
Christ.
This is a divisional game as well. I think famous Jameis will be back from his ACL injury. He's healthy. Mm-hmm. Michael Thomas is coming back. Alvin Kamara is going to be available. I got the Saints at 5.5.
5.5. Yeah,
yes.
I like that's one of those. Like I said, it's one of those trap lines. And I've been telling you this. I told you this right away when I seen like 90% of the handle going on New Orleans before Winston was, declared official to play. Once he was declared, it still stayed at 5.5. Shit, I've seen it go to 6.5 here and there, but that's on the betting market itself. It just makes it an auto fade for me when I see people go there. Atlanta won there last year. They have serviceable corners. The disrespect on Mariota's name's a little offensive to me. I know New Orleans is a great team. I think they'll win the game, but I think it'll be, relatively close. I think Atlanta covers that spread. And I told you last year I'm not going to go bet Atlanta, but I'll be damned if Atlanta isn't in my parlays this week. Well, there's no other way.
The reason for me that I don't think they'll cover is because they won't be able to score. New Orleans has one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah,
they're not going to give it up like that.
Yeah, the luxury tax kings. They're the luxury tax kings. But
now, I will say that spread, it seems to be a trap. But, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, the Saints have a decent offense when famous Jameis doesn't turn the ball over. And he didn't turn the ball over too much last season.
Yeah, I'm not saying the team isn't stacked. I just literally believe that, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. So I'm just going to go,
That's one of my top tier bets, too.
Yeah, Atlanta's one of my favorite bets of the week. That's short list for like my lock of the week.
Hey, we're gonna be competing on that one.
Yeah. You want to talk about Detroit next?
Yes, let's do Detroit.
Go ahead, man. I know you got a different perspective on me because you're a hard knocks believer.
Yes, I've been drinking the Kool-Aid, man. It's so sweet. I think Detroit is going to pose some problems for Philly. Not throughout the whole game. But I think they're going to play hard. I think they also have something to play for, based off of last season. And this is going to be a revenge game because Philly
whooped their shit.
Whooped them, yeah.
Why don't you think the same thing isn't going to happen again? Detroit still has a suspect defense. Like they allowed second most points per game last year, 27.5. They got ran all fucking over. I mean, it was, there were some bad turnovers. I remember just turning that game on. It was like 20-0 halftime, and it just fell apart. But, they're the fifth worst against the run last year, too. I just, everyone was on board with Detroit like 3 weeks ago, and now it's changed. I've been on the Eagles steady. I think they're just going to go in Detroit, finish business again with a team that's healthier, stronger, and better.
Well, that spread will probably go up because it's at what, 3.5, 4?
3.5, 4.
Okay, I think
I like the 4.
It'll probably be 4.5. I would assume before kickoff time because everybody and their mama is going to be for Philly.
Yeah, for sure.
I just think that Detroit's going to play a lot harder. They remember, how last year's game was. They have some people in the trenches too that are competitive. I love Coach Campbell. I think he's going to get those boys ready to play.
I think everyone likes him. He's a motivator.
He's a motivator, yes.
It's the
players coach too.
It's the defense that just is sus as fuck to me. Like, yeah, they got Jeff Okuda that, he's going to start. Did Malcolm Rodriguez get the starting job? I know Jarrett Davis.
He should.
Did he? I have no idea.
I think they cut Jarrett Davis.
They cut Jarrett Davis. They have like anal zone, whatever the hell his name is. Anzalone. Yeah, he's the middle. He's gonna be starting.
I think Rodrigo. I think he should be starting. That'd be a mistake if he did.
That was all indications.
I mean, and this is how bad their defense is, though, because this is a rookie.
Yeah, that's a 6-rounder rookie starting. Yeah. Like that's automatically like tells me like, do I really want to put money on the fucking Lions? They covered like crazy last year.
That's what I'm saying. Too.
I will go to the window and bet these teams like Detroit. Like, there's not a doubt in my mind because they know people just think of Detroit as the team who hasn't won a Super Bowl in over 60 years.
Same category as the Jets. Same category. Well, the Jets
did win. The Jets don't fucking cover though. That's the difference. The Jets were one of the worst teams. Right. They were 4-13 last year covering. The Lions, on the other hand, were like 12-5,
Right.
led the league.
If you put a gun to my head, I would take the Lions against the spread.
All right. I would take, I'm taking Eagles there. Do we want to hit San Fran, Chicago real quick? Because I know this stinks like shit to me too, and you're not. You're thinking, you're pretty much on the other side so far.
I am. I'm taking San Fran.
Oh, God. Jesus
Chicago is just,
Christ.
they're a terrible team.
They're your home team besides Indy. You have to back them at some point.
That was when Walter Payton was there, Fridge, Singletary, that was the 80s.
Roquan Smith.
All right.
He's pissed off. He's going to play good, wants to get traded.
Yeah, true.
Darnell Mooney.
I just think,
Mooney Tunes.
And let's not forget, the Bears have a new coach, too. So now Justin Fields got to get adjusted to that. And this is the defensive coach, too. He's supposed to be defensive-minded. But their defense is terrible, too. They're starting 2 rookies in the secondary this year. Did you know that?
Dude, they had to pick up Alex Leatherwood off waivers from Oakland, which was a waste of a pick, but they have no O-line depth. They have a terrible defense. Every sign to me points, bet the +7. Because, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's like, you add these things up in your head and you're like, I gotta smash San Fran. That's the bet. It's not always the way it goes, because sometimes their defense is just that. It's serviceable. I like Justin Fields as a second year QB or third year?
Second year.
Second year QB.
Second year, yeah.
And I think he can extend plays, get it moving with his legs to whatever receivers are playing, because we know Harry, Pringle, and whoever else isn't playing. It's basically Mooney, Kmet, and Montgomery.
That's all he got to throw it to.
So.
See, the thing is, too, Kyle Shanahan, he's an offensive guru. He's going to find ways. I mean, Chicago's defense is horrible anyway, and they do have a lot of weapons on offense, San Fran does. Also, Chicago's run defense is horrible. Yeah. It was horrible last year. I don't see much difference.
No, the defense was just that. It was
terrible.
Team, but it's week 1, I just see...
It's week 1.
I see it different because teams are healthy. I'm already sitting there like, I'm betting Ravens -7. I got another big spread I'm going to bet that we're going to talk about right after this. Like, I got to take a stand somewhere. I just have to. And I know, like, road teams last year, when it came to covering, when they were favorite, I believe they covered about 57% of the time. It was something ridiculous along that line. So, that should tell you everything you need to know and why I'm probably wrong, but
yeah, I'm going San Fran all the way. This is actually, it's one of my top bets.
I just think the pace will be about the same too. There's so many question marks with Trey Lance and
there's question marks, yes.
Deebo Samuel's now questionable with a hamstring. Elijah Mitchell is questionable, but he should play. There's a couple question marks on the D line as well. I think both their starting defensive tackles are questionable. I think they're going to play, but I'm just... Sometimes some stupid shit happens in football. That'll be the game.
It does.
That's my final statement on that.
Well, one more statement I want to make about this. Remember I told you before we started recording, if this was in November, late November, December, I would be all on the Bears because of the weather, because they're playing in Chicago. But this one is a no-brainer for me.
Warm Chicago.
I might put the house on this one.
Fair.
Psych. I didn't mean that, but
yeah.
I feel really confident.
You're good with that one.
I'm good.
That's fair. Like I said, I got Chicago +7.
Okay. All right.
I think it could even go up to 8, which I'm going to
that's
take all the
another thing.
points I can. I'm going to bet this probably Saturday night, but the one I might go and grab right now, because this is the one I think is free money. It is that Colts -8 versus the Texans. I don't know a fucking soul barely on the Texans. Ooh. They beat them last year in both meetings with Carson Wentz, by the way, shitty QB. I know some people like to think that. I think he's great.
Okay.
But they beat him 31-3 and 31-zip. I don't see it changing. I just don't know who the fuck they're throwing out there that's going to change this game. I mean, you get another year out of Davis Mills. You got Brandon Cooks. I don't know any of the receivers, to be honest with you. The defense, I know Stingley Jr. There's maybe a name or two I know, but it just, when I look at the Colts, I'm like, this is a Super Bowl contending team.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you, man. I mean, I didn't really look into this game because I was like, the spread is a little iffy to me, but I think the spread is perfect because
right at 8.
Yeah, the Texans are a terrible team. The Colts, they are a perennial Super Bowl team, maybe. I think they're going to run the hell out of the ball. They're going to run all over them, and they're just going to collect points. And their defense is solid.
Yeah, their defense is solid. I agree. Just what are these guys gonna do? I just don't see it in any capacity that they're even gonna stand a chance. Like,
yeah.
And this could be the one I'm totally wrong on. I should have took San Fran, and then bet the Texans. But I am probably, this is probably the lock of the week for me. I usually bet one game with my parlays. That's probably it right here for me.
Okay, I'm not going to talk you off the ledge.
You know how I feel about,
Yeah, and the Colts is one of my teams, though, too.
Yeah, you feel good about it, too. And
I kind of do, and I might have to jump on that bandwagon.
Are you leaning Texas? Are you leaning?
I'm leaning Colts.
Okay, you're leaning Colts.
Yeah,
I'm marking these down. We're going to mark these down and come back to it every week, try and give you a recap on how we did. It's week 1. Give us, some time. We'll try and get some winners for you. Anyways, I guess we got to go to a divisional matchup right now. It's a weird line for me, but I guess, Cincinnati took care of business last year against the Steelers. And, I look at this Steeler defense. They got some guys. They got Cam Hayward,
they do.
Watt. They got Fitzpatrick, Devin Bush, Miles Jack, Levi Wallace from the Bills. They're solid on defense. They're solid on, we'll call it the fancy positions. They got some good wideouts. They got good running back. O-line's sus.
Yeah.
QB is sus. Even though I think Trubisky is actually an improvement over Ben Roethlisberger.
An improvement over Roethlisberger. Wow. I mean, I'm not saying Roethlisberger was all that at the end of his career, but
that's what I'm saying. Last year.
Not.
No, he's better than Ben was last year. I can tell you that right now, just from some of them games I watched. He got that noodle arm, kind of like Peyton Manning did at the end of his career. And,
yes.
It's a solid team, but I just think when I see a line that's 7, you got a lot of hype. You don't actually have a lot of hype around Cincy this year. They were kind of, a dark horse last year, and I think they're going to come out with that same mentality. And you know the weapons they have. They're loaded.
They're loaded, extra loaded. What's the spread on that again?
It is 6.5. I like Cincinnati. That is my pick, and I'll leave it at that.
For me, and you made a good point about Pittsburgh's defense. I think they're going back to the way things should have been with Pittsburgh anyway. Focus on your defense.
I agree.
And then fix the rest when you can.
Oh yeah.
But you're right. I mean, Cincy, and this is a divisional game. Cincy is. They are. I think they're going to prove some people. They're going to have a great season.
Yeah, I think they're going to prove people wrong again. And I think can the Steelers cover this game and or win? Yeah, why not?
Right.
But new QB under center.
Well, you know what? Let me change that because this is a divisional game too, and Pittsburgh usually is competitive no matter how bad their team is. I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I'm going to take the spread. I'm going to take the 6. Plus 6 on that.
I'll write you down.
Although Cincy's going to win that game, though.
Me and you have, 2 games so far.
Hey, this is what we like, too.
Yeah, you can take my side, you can take Dre's side. Maybe we're both at 500 for the week 8-8 and you break even, but...
Well, where's that game at, too?
It's in Cincy.
It's in Cincy?
It's in Cincy, so...
I'm still taking Pitt.
Like I said, 6.5 is a lot of points in
That's a lot for a divisional game.
In the AFC North, those games usually come close, but last year when I was, peeping those games, Cincinnati just rolled their division. They rolled Steelers both times. They rolled fucking Cleveland the one game. I forgot what it was. I bet Cleveland if I remember right. And I know they rolled I don't know. They rolled 2 of the 3 in that division. And they covered every time. But we'll leave it at that. It's the Joe Cool era. That's my guy. Socialist King, Joe Cool. Let's go to the Baker Mayfield revenge game. What are your thoughts on that? Because it's so up in the air for me. It's probably not a real play for me.
Well, Baker has been, running his mouth a little bit too.
He should.
About his team. I know he should be pissed.
Fuck his shit.
He should be. But you still got to play the game. And I think Cleveland's going to run all over them.
Yeah,
they're going to run all over Carolina.
They're sus, for sure.
I think the defense is going to be hungry too. Cleveland's defense. Mm-hmm. Now, Carolina has a few weapons offensively. They do, but I'm not. I'm a Mayfield fan, but I don't think that he's where he needs to be yet. I think he's still developing.
Do you think he's an improvement over Darnold at the very least? Because I think he's significantly better than Darnold.
I don't know about significantly, but he is a better quarterback, I think.
I think Darnold's on the cusp of being out of the league. I think Baker is solidified as a top, I don't know, maybe around 20 to 25-ish. He's there. He's, he is a league quarterback. He's not bad.
Elite? Did you just say elite?
No, not elite. I said, league.
Oh, league. Okay.
Middle, bottom tier,
so you
fourth
give him
or fifth
15?
tier, fifth tier QB.
Okay.
Top 20 to 25.
Exactly.
But I think Sam Darnold's fucking garbage.
Well, I think he regressed. I think him going to the Jets just kind of probably killed his confidence for some reason, and then him getting hurt and not developing more himself.
Getting hurt again too. Yeah. Now
that's bad.
And then you get Baker coming in, same draft class to replace you. That's gotta hurt your pride. It's gotta hurt your pride. It
does. He's gonna play tough. He's gonna play hard, though, Mayfield is. But I just think that they're overmatched. I think Cleveland is just gonna run the ball and do what they want to do. Brissett is Bissett, right?
Yeah, Brissett.
Yeah.
Kobe Brissett. Yeah.
He's solid. You know what I mean? He's not a game breaker.
Not a game breaker, not a game wrecker.
But he won't hurt you though.
Yeah, I compare him to Teddy Bridgewater, even though Bridgewater was pretty trash last year. But
yes,
I
got them in.
You got Cleveland 2.5.
Yes, I got them 2.5.
I'm starting to lean that way, but for now, for me, it is Panthers 2.5. I also like that. I like that the Panthers were one of the worst in turnover differential last year. I think that's a reason why the record reflected the way it did, because they dropped their last 10 games, I believe. I mean, they started the season 4-1. The rest of the season pretty much lost out.
Right.
And that's going to change because you had Cam Newton and PJ Walker and Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold played the best out of those guys, but I just like CMC. I like the pace that team will play. Matt Rule is coaching for his job also, but
yes, he is.
I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland went in there, dominated both sides of the ball, ball, especially in the trenches, and won that game. And I
think fine. Cleveland has the me against the world attitude because of the Deshaun Watson situation as well. I don't know how the coach is coaching these guys in terms of that, but there are certain narratives that they're going to play hard and the Mayfield narrative.
Yeah, you think anyone's gonna try and take a shot at him? Myles Garrett helmet swing?
Maybe, yeah. Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Also, I don't condone Donald swinging helmets at Bengals players. He should have got suspended.
That was practice, man. You got to.
He should have got suspended, man.
You know how they do it.
Both helmets.
He looked dangerous out there.
Both
man.
helmets.
But he's the best defensive player maybe ever. I mean, you could argue that, but definitely right now. So they're not going to suspend him.
No, exactly. But it still pisses me off. We'll move on.
That was
to the
crazy.
Next. I guess we'll touch on this one real quick. I'm just going through the list because we'll get to the last couple of the 1 p.m. games, and we'll do these 4 p.m. ones, which I have no idea what to do with 4 p.m., just so the listeners know.
Right, that was hard.
But I will give, picks still. But I got New England +3 over Miami. I know this is a new improved Miami team. I know they still have a great secondary. They have a good defense. They spent money on the offensive line this offseason. They got Tyreek Hill. Maybe someday Will Fuller plays again. It's all on Tua, but right. For me, I just, the one stat is, I know maybe you'll hear it on TV. It's that Bill Belichick against rookie coaches pretty much owns them. I'd say he's,
yes,
he's won probably about 90% of those games. And for him to be a dog here, I think is just silly to me. Give me New England all day.
I'm going to agree with you on that. I think that is a big thing about this particular matchup is Belichick. I mean, he he prepares for games like these because he has he's going up against a rookie coach, and I think Miami is not going to really, we're not going to really see how good they are probably till maybe game 3, 4 when they can get things together and see what they actually have. I think the chemistry may not be there, especially with Belichick, doing certain things.
Like he's the he's a coaching master, and that's what terrifies me in the game. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what I really like about New England's team either. That's what's kind of bad, because like they just seem mediocre on both sides of the ball, but they're coached so damn well.
Yes. And it seems to be that way all the time. With the exception of them having had Tom Brady. But you were like, okay, they don't seem like they have a lot of talent. But they seem to make things happen.
They always had great defenses. I will rebuke that. They always had wonderful defenses and managing God, Tom Brady.
But they had no name guys.
Though. Oh yeah.
But they did have great.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see Ramondre Stevenson this season after White, retires, which good for him, All the best in retirement.
Oh, yes.
You ruined a couple of my fantasy teams, you asshole, but we'll leave it at that. You're on +3 also.
I'm +3 on
I
that
will
one for
leave
sure.
you there. I got you on Cleveland. All right, I got to blindly say go Commanders. Fuck the Jaguars. I'm leaning Washington +3. I might parlay it with the Bills like I used to. We're going to fucking do something like that this year. Watch out. They're going to be better. Don't care about Brian Robinson getting shot. Gibson's still the guy.
Yeah, Brian Robinson is a rookie. He hasn't shown anything as of yet. He may be pretty good.
He might be good,
but
we'll see.
Though.
Yeah, we'll see how he heals. Hopefully, he heals well and has a productive NFL career. It's awful that he got shot.
It is. We're lucky that he's lucky that
he's lucky he's here. Yeah, he's lucky he's here. We're just prospecting what he could do for a team. So
I think I'm gonna go with you on this. I think Washington is going to be much improved. We know how their defense is.
I love their front seven, even without our guy Young coming in. You still got solid guys all around it, except Hurd. You fucking suck. You're the worst free safety in the league. They're gonna give up a lot of air yards. Hopefully, they just play a lot of man cover two. Don't get killed by Christian Kirk down the field.
I don't see that happening. I mean, because they're going to put pressure on
Marvin Jones Jr. too, also another deep threat.
Yes.
But
yeah, true.
I like the pressure. I mean, the team has improved. They say James Robinson is a go week 1. Okay. So if you have shares of ETN,
right.
Don't be disappointed when Robinson gets 7 or 8 carries, because he is still probably the de facto number 1. Been watching him a while. Love the kid.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go with you on that. I just think they are a better team.
They are,
quite frankly.
Yeah. I see people are betting Jags too. I don't get the hype week 1. Last year they got fucking smoked by Houston, if you remember that.
They did, yes.
It was like they lost by 30.
Well, people probably thinking, new coach without Urban Meyer. Maybe Urban Meyer was a cancer. Maybe that was some of the reason why they weren't. As good. They weren't supposed to be good anyway last year.
Urban Meyer made that team a clown show.
Yeah.
So that's something I thought was really funny.
Hilarious.
It destroyed a lot of chemistry on that team, and
yes.
they came together and banded and beat the Colts in Week 18. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying this is a terrible team. I mean, yeah, sure, I'm taking the under on the season of the 6.5, but they can win 6 games. This just won't be one of them.
They'll win Commanders. Some games. They'll win more games than last year.
Yeah, we'll see.
But I got the Redskins for sure.
All right.
At that spread.
All right. How do you feel about Green Bay, Minnesota?
It's funny you mentioned. That's one of my bets. I got Green Bay. Now I know Minnesota has a pretty good team.
It's like
offensively,
a coin flip.
They are really well. They're really good. But Aaron Rodgers wins a lot of his game ones, and I didn't know that. And you told me.
Yeah,
I
showed you that. Yeah, it was. I have it somewhere in
say
here.
That, and this is a divisional game. He does not want to go 0-1. A lot of people are talking bad because Devontae is gone. You know, they think that
They
Green
said
Bay's...
Watson has improved, and Rodgers today said, yeah, he liked him. So that is a guy.
Well, you know, one thing about Rodgers, he's really not a great leader. No. You know, he doesn't up his teammates. You know, he'll throw them under the bus in a minute.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they play well for him, though.
He's a prima donna.
The receivers, you know, actually, you know, play well for him. So I think they're going to win this game. You know, I think Minnesota also is... As far as Kirk Cousins, he's inconsistent. Big games like this, like divisional big games, sometimes he doesn't show up. So I'm looking for that Kirk Cousins. So I got the Green Bay Packers, and I probably will take them outright because it's a half, one and a half.
Yeah, you just take the
just take it outright.
Yeah, don't lose by 1.5 or 2.
Exactly, I'll kill myself.
Yeah,
man.
that's the.
I'm not gonna do that to myself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I get it. I got Minnesota there. They beat them last year at home.
They did.
Same kind of fashion, like a shootout vibe. Aaron Rodgers. I thought he got off to slow starts too. Like I had to look it up. I looked it up for a couple QBs, and you'll see the graphic below about some other games we're gonna talk about. But for the most part, when it comes to Week 1, these 3 QBs, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, they all win their games 10-2 the last 4 years. When it comes to covering, the other hand, 7-5, it's serviceable. You'll win, but I'm fading all 3 of those QBs. That's the reason this graphic was made. It's because I believe Vegas knows how to cap.
Oh yes, they're the best.
And they want you to be like, Green Bay 1.5. Oh my God, that's a fucking deal. Tampa Bay 1.5. That's a steal. Kansas City 4.5. Oh my God.
Well, like you said, like DJ Khaled said, we the best.
Yeah,
that's how the Vegas insiders are. I mean, listen,
they're good. They get it.
I got to go with Green Bay though for this.
I'm on the other end again. That's fine. We will continue that trend, which is cool. It'll Team Richard Dre, whatever you want. Team whatever. What was that Twilight movie? Edward Cullen and Jacob. What was it?
You know what? I never really got into
I should yell at Rand right now. I know she knows. I think I don't know. She knows that shit.
I think I saw the first Twilight.
When I was young, yeah. It was like when I was like 10 or 12.
Yeah.
Would you see it with a girl or something? I hope you didn't see it alone.
Yeah, I think I saw it alone. I just wanted to see how it was, how the movie was.
I heard it was okay.
It was a little cheesy.
I never seen it. Yeah, it's like a teen drama, right?
Yeah, I mean, teen. But the vampire stuff has been trending for the last 80 years, really. You know what I mean? So they keep it moving.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. I never seen any of this shit, but
Check
yeah,
it out
Team
on
Dre
your
or Rich,
spare time.
whatever. Yeah, probably not. Let's talk about one of the weirdest ones I've seen. There's a publicly backed dog that a lot of people are hopping on. It might be New York fever, but yeah, it's like 60% of the handles going to the Giants this week when it comes to betting against the spread. I'm not buying it. I'm in on Tennessee, even though like they've lost a lot of pieces on offense. The defense is still stellar. Danny Dimes ain't got it. I get the dabble effect too. I mean, I loved him in Buffalo, but for a team that was the de facto number 1 seed last year, where's the love? It's that 5.5 death zone again as well, which I don't like. But when I see a lot of people bet something like this, I tend to go the other side. What do you feel?
I like Tennessee.
Yeah,
I like Tennessee too.
Hey, we agreed. Look at that.
I think Tannehill is a good regular season quarterback. You don't really focus on the things that he can't do. A lot of teams don't during the regular season. And also they still have that running game, and their defense is solid. And I think the coach really does prepare them well in regular season games.
Yeah, Vrabel won Coach of the Year.
Yes.
He makes sure they're prepared, and like they beat up on my Bills the last 2 years, and in games no one thought they were gonna win, and it's just Tennessee every year for me, one of the hardest teams to bet. Because I remember last year, week 1, I was all over them. They got smoked by Arizona. I was pissed.
Oh, well, Arizona plays. Their first 6 or 7 games, they going hard.
Yeah, we get to talk about that right after. But we're both on Tennessee there.
I got Tennessee, man.
I think they'll be in some of my parlays. I'm not going to play them hard. But the next game, I love Arizona 4.5. I am playing that. Like we just said, who is, first 8 games, regular season champs? Probably the Cardinals, right?
Right. I just let them tell it. They were going to the Super Bowl, like, by game 5. It's like,
I thought
Cardinals
so.
look really nice.
They did look nice.
They come out hard, and that's why I'm taking them, too.
It's weird to me, Kansas City, it's like, there is this crazy stat I seen. It's something along the lines of, like, Mahomes' first, 20 or 30 games in the league. I think he's been in the league 4 years now. His first, 30 games in the league, he, covered, 80% of them. And in his last 30, he's covered, 20% of them. I just think the trend continues against a team who starts out very hot. I understand you lose Chandler Jones to free agency.
Yes.
I don't think Watt's playing. I'm pretty sure he's still injured. You have Hopkins suspended, but something about 4.5 stinks like shit to me again. That's gonna be in my plays. I'm playing that.
I'm gonna have to play it too, man. You made an interesting point, man.
Play him.
KC has not been able to cover consistently.
Look at week 1 last year. They were 5.5 against the Browns. Didn't cover. They won by 4, but
right. I still think they win 10 to 12 games this season. But
that stinks too.
Yeah, well, I think they do it. Andy Reid's gonna find a way.
Yeah,
but
I have them winning the division, but like I said, I think they can win the game by less than 4.5. That's just that's the name of the game. Is sometimes you got to bet a loser.
I think it'll be a field goal game. I really do believe that.
Why not? If Murray is mobile too,
yes,
he can make space for himself, and you hope they just come out, fire, and they're up 14-0 early. That's, gives you a little
leeway, cushion, right?
A little cushion, make you feel good. That's where I'm at. And then there's a game I'm just going to touch on for 2 seconds before the primetime games, and we get out of here and give our, final picks. Raiders at Chargers, 3.5, divisional game. I have really nothing to say on it. I probably will avoid it. Raiders for me. That's all I got really for you.
Me too. and I got the Chargers winning that division. But
divisional game 3.5.
Yeah, the Chargers still have to prove something to me.
They do. They give up a ton of points, and
they really do.
These are those types of games that's like, hey, they just paid all this money for this defense. Are they
that's what I was about to say. They do have a different defense now, but they still have to play the game. So I think the Raiders just have more momentum too. I know this is a new season.
The playoff loss wasn't that deadly either. They played Cincinnati, and they played them tough. They actually had a chance to win that game, if I remember correctly. Yes.
And they're one of those up and coming teams that could be perennial, go deep in the playoffs. I'll say that.
Yeah, they're a sleeper for me also.
Yeah, so I'm taking them.
Yeah, even with Waller being questionable, I'm still fine with that. Foster Moreau will catch one ball for 43 yards. Mark it down. He'll do something silly like that, but we'll get to the marquee games here because I actually have something to say about this one. Is the Sunday night game. There's so many questions around this game. No wonder it's the primetime game. I don't know what to fucking think of it. You got Tom Brady problems.
Yeah.
You got all the shit that's happened to Dallas. You got Lenny, he's fat now or something. Washington's gone for the year. Cooper went to Cleveland.
Right.
Is Trayvon Diggs any good? People say yeah, people say no. I lean yeah. When you get takeaways, I think it matters more than how many yards you give up. But that's just me.
Okay.
What do you feel on this game?
Well, for this game, I usually don't go against Tom Brady under any circumstances. Especially
Tom Brady stinks, though. Yeah,
he does. He does. Plus the fact, we were talking about it before airtime. Tom Brady got a lot of personal stuff going on. Wifey's not happy.
Means he's gonna go extra hard and win by 30. He's gonna prove us all wrong.
He might, or it might be on his mind too. I think there's too many question marks in this game. I mean, we can go Tampa Bay or Dallas. Dallas has tons of injuries. They've given up a lot of players. They don't have the same team.
Yeah, when you lose, they lost Randy Gregory on that bullshit too. Remember, he was supposed to sign back, and then he was like, "Nah, I'm going to Denver. I got a better deal."
Well, Michael Gallup and James Washington is hurt too.
Yeah, it's
But with that being said, I think Dallas could possibly win this game.
I like them. I don't know why.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why, really.
They played it close last year. Tampa Bay won by 2. The spread was like 9.5. Obviously, Dallas covered that, but they were in Tampa Bay as well for that game.
Yep.
And they very well could have won that game. That was that last drive. What, pick or fumble? What happened there?
It was a turnover.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was a pick to end the game. But I just, I'm against playing favored teams week 1, especially, or just in primetime games in general. So you're going to see me a lot of the times just go against the public sentiment for primetime games, and that's why I got Dallas. So after I lose all my money Sunday or maybe win, I'll be throwing money at it. It's not a total bet, but come Sunday, I'll probably bet it if,
I'm leaning Dallas.
All is not lost. Yeah, we're both on the same page there. Yeah, I just think, Tom Brady, he might not be ready. And it kind of, like I said, I thought Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes didn't, they all start slow. Evidently not. It's my misconception, but against the spread, they're still about 500. Yeah. I can see them, those 3 guys going 1-2 against the spread to start the season. Okay. Vegas undefeated in 5 years. They're at about 500.
Well, one last point I wanted to make about this game too is Tampa Bay is going to be starting 3 new starters on the offensive line.
Yeah, that's
not good for Tom.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Once you put him under pressure, he kind of folds.
Yes.
And we've seen it before in big time.
As do most quarterbacks, unless they have little legs.
Yeah, you gotta have mobility. Like if you're Josh Allen, Justin Fields, maybe Trey Lance, maybe even. We'll see how he pans out.
Right.
And it's kind of just where I'm leaning. You're in Jerry world. It's a little hostile, but for him, he's played in every big game ever since I was 5 years old. But I'll take Dallas there. And
I gotta lean on Dallas. Yes.
And we finally wrap this up with the Monday night game. It is the Russell Wilson return home game. They say the schedules are randomly that's such a fucking lie. They put these games here for a reason.
Perfect for a Monday night too, right?
Beautiful. I love it. I love the prospect of it. I think a lot of people are going to run to the window and bet Denver. And I'm not here for it. I think Seattle fucking stinks on paper too. That's, and I know you're going to disagree. It should be the game everyone gets their money back on once they lose, go bet Russ. But for me, once again, I'm just on the sentiment of I'm going to fade popular teams in primetime spots. I tend to not believe, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. I think 6.5, 7 is fair. I think it'll go up to 8 come Monday. Because it's Geno fucking Smith, man. I don't know. What do you got for me there?
Man, I'm going Denver, man. I have to. Geno Smith, really? Plus the fact Seattle has nothing. Their offensive line is dirt. One thing about this game, though, is Russell Wilson knows how hard it is to play in Seattle. Yeah. Now, with him having played in Seattle, his first 8 years in the league, 9 years?
It's been a long time. I really don't know.
He knows how to play in that particular setting. They're going to be booing him, and there's going to be cheers too.
No way, they're cheering him. I think they're cheering him.
I think it's going to be half and half.
I think it'll be pretty warm. He needed out of that. Pete Carroll. There's nothing he would do for Russell Wilson.
I agree with that.
He didn't want to give him the helm. It was no, we have to play this systematically boring offense where we're running 50% of the time. And
true.
we're gonna run on fucking first and second down half the time.
That's funny that he appreciates the run, but he didn't run in that Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that one play.
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch should have fucking won them the game.
Right.
One of the worst decisions ever.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going Denver though. I think Denver just has a better team too. I think they're solid defensively. I think Russell definitely makes them a little bit better. I gotta go with them. I cannot. I know what you mean. I know your sentiment about everything and the narrative behind a lot of this stuff. But listen, like I said, sometimes things look easy and sometimes they just are.
And that's true. And like I said, I think there's a couple things I like. Like I'm in on Cincy. I'm in on the Colts. I'm laying 8 and 7 points there. But with the Seattle team, Pete Carroll's gonna try his hardest to not get blown out this game.
Yeah, he wants to beat Russell Wilson.
I want to say there's probably a beef or some sort of rift between them. I'm sure it's friendly competition. However, you get the home opener on a Monday night. The fans are going to be there for or against Russ. Sure, I can just see this being a messy game. People bet and
yeah.
I'm going to bet it on Monday. Hopefully I get an 8.5.
I know. I'm going to sleep on it. I'm not going to put in, if I do bet it, I'm not putting my bet in until probably Monday afternoon.
And that's my thought. I think it's if you want Denver, bet it now. If you want Seattle, we'll wait till game day.
Yeah, well, it's going to go up, I believe.
Yeah, I think so too. Just because, like I said, week 1, a lot of people are going to lose. We got you there. You're there with me. All right, so let's wrap this up. I'm going to give you my main plays for the week. They go as follows. My primetime games, I'm betting the Rams 2.5. I know. Sad. Hopefully the Bills win by 1. I'm disgusted with myself. I know. Love myself, Dallas 1.5. Tom Brady got some problems. Give me Seattle 6.5 in primetime. My lock of the week, that I most likely will bet. You can check my Twitter after, Sunday or Sunday morning, Saturday night. I'm going to bet the Colts -8. It seems too good to be true. Probably is, but I think they're going to roll these guys with Matt Ryan under the helm. And then parlay plays for me, I like these pieces a lot. It would go as such. Atlanta +5.5, Eagles -4. And my other play I will give to the people, it'll be Arizona 4.5. Those will be the ones I really lean on this week.
Very interesting.
Oh, and the Ravens 7 too. Don't forget about that.
Okay, all right.
What you got for me?
My prime time, that Rams game, Buffalo Bills. I got the Rams at 2.5. I just think that they're gonna come up with the victory. My number one game that I'm putting my money on, and more of it, is the 49ers and the Bears. Right now it's at 6.5. It will probably go up. I'll probably put this in early because I want to go under the 7 for sure. But I just think that San Fran's going to dominate that game. It could just be like a 25-0 game, really. That's my number one game. My second game that I really am really confident about is the Saints Falcons, taking the Saints at 5.5. That's where it's at right now. I just think that the Saints are going to handle their business against the Falcons. The Falcons, they don't look that great to me. I mean, on paper, they don't look great. And then in the preseason, they didn't look really that great to me.
No, they didn't.
So
Mariota ran all over them Lions, though.
He did. Yeah. And they're going to have to sustain his running. And I think the Saints have the defense to do it.
Yeah.
And lastly, I got the Packers over the Vikings at 1.5. I'm probably going to bet that outright. Green Bay Packers. I just think Aaron Rodgers is just going to be, he's ready to win that game one, that divisional game, Now, he may lose the second one against Minnesota, but he's going to win this one.
Fair enough. And, any totals, anything like that you're looking at, or not right now? What?
Not right now. I'm a totals guy, too, and totals that'll be on my list this season.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that,
I know
y'all.
you'll throw them out there for us, so that's always fun. I'm not a totals guy or anything myself. I do like the under in that. It's 41.5 or something silly. in that Chicago game.
Oh, the Chicago game.
Yeah, something silly like that.
That probably is going to be on San Francisco's side defensive.
Yeah.
Chicago can't score anyway.
That's what I'm thinking there. 30 points scored.
Right. I like it.
Other than that, yeah, that's about it. We will get you online.
Yes.
We will post your picks. We will post my picks. I will put the handles in the video as I'm speaking right now. I will make sure I do that. Time is running out. We got a minute or two. Anything else we want to hit on besides let's get some wins this year? Any outlook?
Well, I just think it's going to be an exciting season.
It always is.
This is the NFL.
It's a good season.
I do NFL and college, so the weekends is like Christmas for me.
Yeah.
Every weekend, so I'm just looking forward to a good season for both college football and NFL. I just want to win too.
Yeah, that's the thing. My main
fatten
thing,
my pockets.
I just want the Bills to win. I want to get my pockets fat. I'm gonna try and hit 20 parlays. I will be posting them. I won't be talking my shit about it. We're gonna have some fun. Hopefully, everyone enjoys this. And
I might have a couple parlays up my sleeve this season too. I'll let you guys know for sure.
Yeah, definitely let us know if you're doing any. I might do some teasers or something along that line too. Player props,
Oh, no doubt.
We'll see how hot we run, but other than that, I hope everyone enjoyed the show. Please, again, follow me at Twitter at LilDickBigRich. Follow the YouTube channel, Fumbling the Bag Pod. Follow Andre's Twitter, whatever it is.
My Twitter is
right
coming up. Hopefully, I'll have it before we air this.
Yeah,
I'll
make sure I plug it. I have to actually plug this to everyone. I didn't even plug the last episode. I'm an idiot, but this one's a lot better than the last one, and the last one wasn't too bad. It wasn't bad. It was fine, but
wasn't bad.
But this one matters because I'm putting money on it.
Right on.
So that's the scope is officially real, and I'm happy we're back.
We're back.
So we'll leave it at that. Till next time, everyone. This is
Andre Miller,
Richard Jason, Fumbling the Bag Pod, signing off.
Signed off.
Peace.